At this rate, you're on track to lose over a decade of your life to this thing. Think about that for just a second. 11-ish years of your life just tossed in the trash. This video is my attempt to get some of that back. But you're probably asking how. Well, I'm glad you asked. My idea is to find a way to eliminate distraction, except you can't just get rid of it. You have to replace it with something else. I want to replace time spent on my phone with time I'm putting towards my actual goals in life, and one way to illustrate that is with a vision board. So it brings up the question, can a vision board cure my doom scrolling and bring back years of my life? We're about to find out. A question you might be asking yourself is, what is a vision board? Google always defines things the best. A vision board is quite literally a collage of images and words representing a person's wishes or goals, intended to serve as inspiration or motivation. My thought is that having this in the house will serve as a reminder of what's important in life, and more importantly, what's not important. This experiment starts out with identifying our goals, and I, like most people, didn't know even where to start with that, so I asked ChatGPT. Apparently, a great place to start is by identifying key areas in our life we want to improve in. This could be things like health, relationships, family, career, etc. Once we have each of our buckets, we can then figure out what our goals are for each of those specific categories. For health, I love exercising through pickleball. It's something that keeps me active, and eventually I would like to play in a tournament. So my goal for health would be to stay active through pickleball and to keep learning about the sport. For me, family and relationships are pretty similar because my wife is my family. My goal there is to be a supportive husband who shows up and loves both my wife and our family as it continues to grow. Now for our last section, which is career, I've had a pretty clear goal here for a while, and that's to make films on YouTube. I want to tell stories that I care about and make an impact on the people watching. An extra step we can take with this is to specifically define each goal and stating how we're going to measure it. So rather than just saying, I want to get better at pickleball, I would say, I want to get better at pickleball, and we're going to measure that by placing first, second, or third in a tournament. I personally want to use this vision board as more of a general guide to each of my dreams, so I'm not going to worry about specifically defining each one. With each goal now set, it's time to work on the visual side of the vision board. Starting off with my pickleball goal, an easy visual to remind me of that goal would be a pickleball paddle, maybe a pickleball itself, and the logo of the sports league. As long as the visual reminds you of your goal, then it works for you. For relationships and family, I'll use photos of my wife, my friends, and of course, my family. And finally, for career, I'll use the YouTube logo, a camera, and a picture of my friends and I at my first ever YouTube conference. Now, with all the visuals in place, it's time to get some supplies. First things first, we need a canvas. Now, I'm imagining something about the size of a book, because I don't really want to hang this on the wall. It's going to be something that more so stays on my desk, so about the size of a book should be pretty good. Then we're going to need some Mod Podge and some sponge brushes to apply it with. And finally, for the actual pictures themselves, we'll be printing them out, so it's not going to hurt to get some more printer ink. And with that, we should be good. Currently printing stuff for the vision board. We have 3 photos left, so now it's just a waiting game. Alright, we have all of our papers here, and I think it's about time that we start to cut them out so we can get an idea of how we're going to lay things out on the canvas. It's weird cutting things out with actual scissors because I'm used to cutting out in Photoshop, so this will be kind of fun. Now with all of the pieces cut out, we're going to start laying them out on the canvas itself. Right now, a lot of them are still cut in kind of rectangles like this, and I think once it's laid out, I'd like to add a little bit more of like abstract cutting to it. So like this one, maybe cut out the sky. That way there's just some cool like texture going on, but we'll see how it works out. Already I'm realizing that the canvas I got is a lot smaller than the pictures I printed, so I'm gonna have to cut these out quite a bit. My hope with doing this is that as I look over and see it on the desk, it'll just be a nice little reminder of the things that are important to me. And if I'm ever on my phone, I can kind of think about this or even see this and think, okay, is what I'm doing right now working towards any of the goals that are on this board, or is it just kind of wasting time? There's the YouTube play button. Hopefully someday I have one of those that is like for 100,000 subscribers, but we'll see. For now, I have this. I think this is the general outline of what we're gonna go for. Now it's time to start Mod Podging. I haven't used this stuff in maybe like a decade, but I'm pretty sure you just wipe it on the front and back and it's like an adhesive that'll end up finishing clear. The Mod Podge is done. Here is how we have it so far. I'm gonna give it some time to dry. And there's still some excess paper around the edges that's too short to cut, so I'm just gonna tape it once it's done. But overall, I think it's pretty good. Just needs some time to dry. I'm not a crafts person, but I'm happy with how it turned out. The question that it all comes down to is, did making this vision board cure my doom scrolling? And the honest answer is that no. In the long term, it's not going to make a huge, massive difference. But in the short term, it did. It caused me to think about what's important to me and to be a bit more intentional with what I'm putting my time towards. So maybe it's something where every quarter of the year or every 6 months, I create a new one to kind of realign what I'm working towards and to reset my focus. Even if it doesn't turn out good, just the practice alone of making it is a good reminder of what we're working towards. Other than that, feel free to like and subscribe. Toodaloo.